Okay guys, so we've got the chassis together here. Turned out pretty good. Going to do some weathering, I think. That blue is just too stark for me. Couple of things I noted was these here, this cross link I think is a hair too short. When I put it in, it tows out one of these spindles. Unless I've screwed something up with the geometry and the suspension, which I did have an issue getting one of those A-arms, but it was more a up-down thing versus a position, so I don't think that's the problem. Somebody had mentioned on one of the Facebook forums that I think they had the same issue. And it'd be an easy fix. I would just cut this in half and put a piece of tubing or something all the way to the end links and just make the hair longer. It's not a big deal at all. Excuse me. So we got this together. I did the harnesses orange to match the ArmorAll scheme. I couldn't get a reference to see what it actually was. But we're going to get into the bodywork next. Pretty much going to leave things how should be, other than I'm going to get rid of these hood pins for photo etch. And I've just dry fitted this so far. I haven't done a lot of sanding, but it looks to be not the greatest fit. I think we're going to need filler in there. I'll sand some of this and see if I can get it to fit better, but I have a feeling we might need some filler. This one on the front looks better. Hopefully it is better. Mold lines on it, I didn't see much. Hair here. I don't see a lot of mold lines, so not too much for cleanup on this. One thing I did notice, and I saw this on a Lucas E video, the angle of this, too beefy here. This is straight across in the reference. Get it out of the glare. You can see the difference there. So we're going to try and sand some of that out like Luke did in his. And I don't know. The instructions say wheel wells are tight to allow for trimming. And I don't know what we have there. If we need to cut some of that out. Freaks me out because I'm kind of new to this, so I don't want to screw it up. But I don't know if we have to chop some of this shit out here or not. Anyways, let me get into this bodywork, get sanding and fitting, and we'll see where we are at. Okay, I've got most of my bodywork done. I used Mr. Primer Surfacer 1000. These seams worked out pretty good. I just had to clean them up, sand them back. In here, if I can zoom in. In here, there's pegs, I'm assuming to locate the bumper. I had to sand these back on both sides so it didn't interfere, and that closed this gap up really nice. In here, not too bad. The back was a little bit worse, but it had a nice fit here, so I C8'd it here, and then I had to clean up the edges of the trunk lid a little bit, and that closed it up. And then I glued that. I used quick set cement, and then I CA'd behind just to strengthen it all up. And any gap I filled CA, so there is CA in here, but it worked out well. So now I'm going to, I've sanded that all with 1500 sponge. I'm going to clean it, and then I am going to shoot it with Mr. Base White 1000. I struggled to get coverage with white, but this stuff is really good. So we'll shoot that on there, and we'll take another look. Hey guys, I filmed these in segments, so I'm probably being repetitive here, but here is the completed chassis with the wheels on. Turned out not too bad. Like I've mentioned already, we need to add a bit of weathering. She's a touch shiny. I didn't bother with these ejector pins here because it's buried. I don't really care. Touch up to do. I got some paint rub off here, but that's no big deal. My hood is primed. It's going to be black. Here is my scheme. Right down here on the bottom. The roof is white, black stripes. Going to do some masking here because this black line runs from A-pillars right along the windowsill. The back, the trunk is black. This rear is black. Yeah, that's how it should be there. The rest is decal. So curious how this will match up. Look, we'll soon see. Bodywork is in my dehydrator. Here is the body. This is just white Tamiya primer right now. I ended up filling in here. Still needs touch work. I can see my fill job there. Hard to get in there and sand. But I filled these. They turned out pretty good. Looks pretty seamless, which is nice. I filled in here, and I just hit this one again. It needs some sanding, but they turned out not bad. I think one more round of sanding and we should be good for primer. Then I'll use my Mr. Base White 1000 and probably leave it at that for the white. This is another kit I was toying with when I did this Hooters car. This is a 3D print. This is Mr. Base White as well. Like I said, the coverage was good. This is badass. It looks great. Yeah, anyways, hopefully we'll get these kind of results with this when we're done. What does this look like? Let's see what kind of disasters we can get going here. Plugging this in. I think. Here's where I'm going to F something up and get irritated. Should have did a trial run off camera so I don't look like a fool here, but hey, this is more interesting. Stretch. Stretch. Oh boy, she's tight. Probably a good thing in the end, if we can get her in. Get over that. She kind of snapped in there. How does it look? tire off. Perfect. Now maybe, just maybe, that's what they were saying when it was tight, so you can trim. Interesting. The tires are all loose. Well, it looks cool, I guess. The stance looks pretty badass. We have to play with it a bit. It looks to me like the tire is too far back, but we might not have it 100% in position here. Play with her, compare her to our references, but that looks pretty sick. These old lead sled cars are so cool. The old stuff is so much cooler than these new things. I could just imagine killing myself in this thing. It'd be so much fun. Anyhows, that's where we're at. I will edit this up and throw a video on the YouTubes with this. But we're into bodywork now, which is cool. I think we'll be done very soon and be getting into paint and decaling. So the fun stuff is coming.